Hi, it's Carl Brower, and I'm here in Bozeman, Montana, driving the all-new Volkswagen Tiguan. This vehicle is in one of the most competitive segments, the compact SUV segment, and you've got some real heavy players there like the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4. Volkswagen's clearly going after these groups with very aggressive upgrades. It's got not only an improved interior and a more powerful engine, but it's also built on a lighter frame. It actually lost weight. There's also things like ambient lighting and interior screens, large display screens that are much improved over the last version, and they really do give the vehicle a much more luxurious feel. And we're going to drive this brand new Volkswagen Tiguan around Bozeman and experience all these new features and dig into all the upgrades that Volkswagen has done. When you're sitting inside the Volkswagen Tiguan, you can really feel the upgraded interior materials and the overall design that they were going for. You can get either a standard 12.9-inch central touchscreen, or on higher level models like this one, you get this 15-inch central touchscreen. And it uses what Volkswagen calls its Digital Cockpit Pro interface. It's kind of a kludgy name, but thankfully the actual interface is great. We all know that Volkswagen's previous interface was, well, let's just say not fabulous. This one's much better. Between this big screen and these clear icons, it's very easy to figure out what you want to do next and which button, or which virtual button I should say, you're going to hit. You've got your dedicated climate controls down here. You still have a digital gauge cluster. And the other thing is they moved the shifter from the center console area up here to the steering column. So that opens up some storage capacity down here. It's really impressive. I like the wood grain, the quality of the leather. This starts to feel very luxurious. Now, this is the top line SEL R line, and you'd expect it to be impressive in here because this is going to be the most expensive one, but it has a very luxurious feel. And I really like the ambient lighting. You can't see it in this lighting conditions. It's too bright under these studio lights. But when I was at the LA Auto Show and then testing the car for World Car Testing for World Car Awards, I was in an underground parking garage where it was much darker, and you could see the effectiveness of the ambient lighting. I was highly impressed. And you don't think ambient lighting's that big a deal. It's on everything. It's become kind of a standard trademark on modern cars, but it's very impressive. It really adds to its upscale feel on top of all the materials. And by the way, what the heck is that thing? This vehicle's received a wide range of upgrades for the 2025 model year. It's essentially considered the third generation of this vehicle. And things like removing the rear seat, that was the third row seat, and it really wasn't a very useful seat, and Volkswagen got feedback and said they should pull that. By doing that, they've created a more effective both cargo and second row area. But really the bigger news is on the drivetrain side. The car still uses a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but it went from 184 to 201 horsepower, and torque is up to 221 pound-feet. And this engine is offered in most of the trims, including this SEL R line that we're driving right now, which is one of the top-of-the-line ones. But there is a 2026 Volkswagen Tiguan SEL R line turbo coming for next year, and it's going to have 268 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque, which is quite a performance boost. And it's very interesting because what Volkswagen really needs to do is they need to compete in a very highly competitive segment, which is this small compact SUV segment. Volkswagen's trying to compete against icons and kind of pillars of the compact SUV community like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. But this is already their best-selling vehicle, both globally and in the US, and they just want to keep riding that gravy train. They got to sell even more of these. So a lot of the features that we're going to talk about today, a lot of things they did for 2025 and then next year's 2026 turbo model, is to just keep chipping away at the market share in what is really the most popular market in this country. I mean, you think about it, the Honda CR-V is now the new Honda car. It's not the Civic, right? And the RAV4 is the new Toyota. It's not the Corolla. So it's an important segment, and they need to invest in it, and they have. And I sit in this vehicle and I look around at things like this really high quality wood trim that they've got, the leather on these seats. This is an SEL R line that we're in right now, so it's the second highest trim. It's the highest trim for 25, and then next year it'll be second only to that turbo model I mentioned. And you can get a 12.9-inch central touchscreen as the standard central touchscreen, but in these upper trims like this one, it's a 15-inch central touchscreen. And the really good news is Volkswagen has vastly improved the interface here. Volkswagen didn't have the greatest interface before, but they've really improved it. For the 2025 Tiguan, the base engine is still a 2-liter 4-cylinder, but it has been improved horsepower and fuel efficiency wise. This engine now makes 201 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. That's up from 184 horsepower the previous year. It's also had its fuel efficiency kicked up a notch. It goes from about 25 to 29 miles per gallon, depending on which configuration you're getting. But it does have an 8-speed automatic transmission and standard front-wheel drive on most of the trims, except the higher-end ones like this SEL R line that we're driving does come with 4-motion all-wheel drive as standard. All right, so here we are in Bozeman, and it's a little rainy and cloudy, but I'm wearing my flannel. I look like I'm supposed to be here in Bozeman, right? And I just want to talk about this really cool exterior lighting for a second. It's one of the new things they did for the 2025 Tiguan. There's a light up at the front, right in the center of the grille. There's a lit VW badge, and there is on the back here too. So they've really kind of added this premium look to the vehicle because of the exterior lighting. And then in the back, you've got, again, no third row seat, a better, more functional cargo area, and it's easy to fold down these second row seats. You pull these levers here and they fold down automatically. So this is a more functional, practical, compact SUV because that third row seat has been pulled. And that helps the Tiguan go up against some of these kind of iconic players in this segment that own the market share, and Volkswagen wants to chip away at it. The other thing to note about this new Tiguan is that it's actually lighter than the previous generation. Volkswagen was able to use aluminum, high-strength aluminum, and some other lightweight, intensive materials to drop 170 pounds from this year's Tiguan. Does that ever happen in this industry? Do cars ever get lighter from one generation to the next? No, they always get bigger and heavier. So kudos to Volkswagen for not only producing more horsepower with the base 4-cylinder, but dropping weight at the same time. Both those are going to contribute to not only driver enjoyment, but also better fuel efficiency. Remember, weight is the enemy. We talked about the cargo space being better, and as well as the rear seat space, because they pulled the third row seat. That second row now folds in a 60-40 manner to give you max cargo space, which oddly Volkswagen hasn't shared with us yet. Maybe they're going to share it this week. It might be out by the time this video is up. But right now, as I drive this, I don't know. The last car's cargo space was 73.4 cubic feet. So I'm assuming this one's going to be better because they pulled the third row. A couple other specs to note. With the increased horsepower, towing capacity for this vehicle went up. It's gone from 1,200 to 1,500 pounds for all-wheel drive models. The front-wheel drive models remain at 1,200 like they were in the previous generation. Volkswagen's telling us that all these vehicles, no matter which trim you get, are well equipped. And when you look at the trim breakdown across the models, they're kind of correct. You get some pretty good safety equipment. There's a lot of safety features, including 10 standard airbags now. They've added like a center airbag and a knee airbag. There's a lot of driver assist technology that comes standard on even the base S model. And then when you start going up, you can get crazy things like head-up display and this really good leather, this high quality leather on the front seats, as well as massaging and ventilated front seats, which are pretty unique in this compact SUV category. They've really gone for a lot of the premium features. But again, like they emphasized, even the base model comes with wireless projection of your phone, so Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, they work without needing a wire, and wireless smartphone charging, even on the base model. And if you go up to the top models, you can get things like, well, this has got a Harman Kardon 700 watt 12 speaker audio system. This 2025 Tiguan is now on sale, and it starts pretty much right at $30,000 for the S trim, the base trim, with destination included. And it goes up to around $32,000 if you go from front-wheel drive to 4-motion all-wheel drive. And then it just kind of keeps bumping up from there to around $40,000 for the SEL R line that we're in right now. In the middle of there's this SE black line, I don't know. There's not very, the trim names on this vehicle don't make a lot of sense to me, but look closely when you're ordering to make sure you get the one you want and you know what name to use, because there's S, SE, SE, R line, black, I don't know. But the equipment that you get nicely, ratchets up with the price. And I feel like all of them are a pretty good value. Again, if you look at what you're getting at each trim level and for these prices, it's highly competitive with the other vehicles in this category. Yet another effort by Volkswagen to be very competitive in this super competitive class. The driver interface on this Tiguan is really a point of focus with the updates for 2025. You've got the 10.5-inch digital gauge cluster, and then either a 12.9 or, in the case of this high-end SEL R line that we're driving, a 15-inch central touchscreen. And you've got some interesting control systems here, like this supposed volume knob, but it's actually the driver experience dial is what they call it. And you can see just touching it changes like what it looks like. And if I push on it, I can change driver modes, or I can push on it and change atmospheres. So now you're getting a change in lighting. And notice how everything's kind of red, but if I hit nature, now the gauge cluster and these buttons up here and the color around the main display all changes to yellow. So there's also audio changes, and if I turn up the volume, you can hear different music and sounds based on whatever atmosphere I've chosen, like energetic. It'll actually start to change the way the audio system is sounding to coincide with this. And there's kind of a home screen here with all sorts of things. There's even additional ambient light choices you can make. And there's up to, I think, 30 of them. Desire, Infinity, all sorts of lighting and kind of themes that will go through the whole digital experience in this vehicle. It feels very luxurious, and that kind of goes along with everything from the wood material to the leather. They're just trying to make this a very premium experience at this point, more so than most vehicles in this category. And I think you could argue that Volkswagen's trying to kind of straddle between the compact SUV category and the luxury compact SUV category with this vehicle. We're driving here outside of Bozeman, going up into the mountains, and it's raining, not too hard, but enough to where I feel better knowing that we've got the standard all-wheel drive in this SEL R-Line version. And I've tried out some of the different driving modes. You've got sport, you've got custom, you've got off-road, comfort, and I'm keeping it in sport mode because we are going around some corners as well as we go up in altitude, and everything feels great. The engine does make more power, and it seems like it's got a very broad torque band. That turbocharged 2-liter, not at all inadequate. Fully adequate, if not actually a little fun and sporty to drive. It's crazy to think what the 268 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque version, the R-Line Turbo that's coming next year, how that's going to feel. It's going to end up being probably one of the most capable performance vehicles in this compact SUV class. I spent a couple hours driving this vehicle, and while it's mid-May and I didn't expect to be experiencing inclement weather and really testing out the all-wheel drive system, we're here in Bozeman and we're going up and down hills, around corners, and driving through questionable weather. A very good test for any compact SUV, and the Tiguan is performing flawlessly. Comfortable and confident, and a lot of great amenities and a very cool control interface, as we've discussed. So as these compact SUVs go, Volkswagen is clearly playing for keeps here, and they've really done a fabulous upgrade to this vehicle for 2025. It's going to be interesting to see how it does in this class, but I expect good things. I expect its best-selling status within the Volkswagen model line to not only maintain but probably increase, and it's probably going to be sucking up some market share. We'll see if Honda and Toyota buyers make the leap here, but I think it's very possible. Good job, Volkswagen.